Greetings, Katasak.
Bertirtumat, what can I do for you?
How is my cousin doing?
He's filled with dread as death approaches. Forgive him his mood swings. He's such a young boy, and he had so much desire to live. Thanks to my treatment, he suffers less. But his disease is getting worse, and I don't know what to do. It would take a power far superior to mine to break the grasp of this evil.
Now that you've seen my cousin, what are your thoughts on the Malachor?
It is a terrible disease. I have never seen one like it. It slowly gnaws through the people it afflicts. Their eyes and legs gradually die because of the black blood, and the pain it induces is atrocious. My potions are barely enough to calm your cousin. But if you're asking if I know how to cure it, I have no idea. It's a disease coming from a world that isn't ours, and which I'm not familiar with.
Do you like it in New Serene?
No. Your village has smothered the earth. The smell of the woods has gone, and the singing of the birds is filled with anguish. I can barely feel my bond here. But don't worry. I will not leave before doing everything in my power to save your cousin.
I'm looking to meet Enormil Frichtman. I went all the way to the village council.
But they did not let you speak to Glendan the Elder.
Precisely. They said that only the friends of a member of the council might enter.
And my word was not enough. It seems that I must be a Mal to be heard.
Do not be sad, daughter of Bloodnid. One day you will be as great a chief as your mother. And you too will have a seal. This seal will allow you to give voice to the friends of your clan, those who may speak in your name. Here, friend of Wenxavier. Take my seal and go and meet Glendan. But you must convince him and no doubt pass many trials. Many monsters and traps are hidden on the path you seek to follow.
Thank you, Katasach. Why are you helping me?
I do not wish to lose the one who placed his life in my hands. And you have already shown me your friendship.
I hope that Glendan will allow you to meet this god, cousin. Leave as soon as you can. Godspeed.
Have no fear. I'll do whatever it takes. I must go.
Kwa awalam seg.
My dear cousin, come closer and tell me what brings you.
Constantine. Is it true? Are you in great pain?
This sickness is horrible, believe me. Now I understand what your mother went through. But you have not come to hear my complaints. Speak. It will give me something else to ponder.
I'm going to leave now. Goodbye, Constantine.
Look out for yourself.
I'm happy you came to find me. Allow me to apologize once again. I should have spoken to you sooner, told you what I knew, and not betrayed your trust.
Indeed, you should have.
As I said, I'd like to make up for it and help you find your family again.
How do you intend to do that?
As you now know, I knew your mother. We had trouble communicating at first, of course, but we gradually learned to understand one another. She was important in her village. Based on what I know today, I think she was a Donegad. She told me her name, Arelwyn, and told me about her family. She even gave me a pendant for you. You were only a child, so I gave it to Mrs. de Sade for safekeeping.
She gave me a necklace when I went to say goodbye to her. She said it was a family heirloom. Did my mother tell you the name of her village?
No. But I'm sure the Norts can help us. They were the ones who took your mother to the continent.
It was such a long time ago. How can I find out if they remember?
The Norts record everything down to the gentlest breeze. They must have written something in a logbook somewhere. So, do you want to try and find out where you come from? Do you want to find your relatives?
Yes. All this is so new to me, but I suppose so, yes.
Let's go then.
Greenblood, my friend. Glad to see you. I'd like to talk to you about something.
I'm listening.
Remember that note we found in Rolf's office?
Of course. The one that said the recruits had been sent to different governors?
Yes. It was signed with a name I'm familiar with. Herman. Somebody I'd hoped never to cross paths with again. He was the one who founded the camp we closed. And believe me, he has done an incredible amount of damage to the guard. But you look quite busy. Come back and see me when you're ready. Anything else?
I must leave you.
You have returned. The rule is still the same, you know.
Here is the seal of the Denegad Katasach, of the village of Wenshavier.
And so you are a trusted friend of the great healer. He must see your true face and find it worthy. Enter. You are welcome.
I give you warm greetings, Glendan. I am Disarday, legate of the...
Me very slightly from my path. But you are a current of Katasach. His trust in you makes me stop and look at you. What brings you here?
I seek a remedy. My cousin, as well as many other people on our island, suffer from a terrible sickness. We think that only Enon Miel Frictaman can help us find a cure.
Really? And Katasach sent you to see me?
He told me that the only way to meet with your god was to come and see you. You would judge our worthiness.
Judge your intentions? Yes, that I can do. But even if I should do this, you would have many trials to pass. For the path you seek to follow has only been tread but a very few times, and you are the first Renaigse to set foot upon it. We must begin where everything begins. There is a trial. The trial of water. It will show us the reflection of your soul.
What must I do?
You must go to a cavern and tell me what you see on the seal you will find deep in its center.
And this cavern is guarded, I suppose.
That is true. But the simplest solution is not always the best. It is a path with many forks. I hope you will prove that you understand the spirit of our people and our island. Go now. Show us your true face, and return purified by the waters of the cavern.
What can you tell me about your god?
That the word God is too small to hold him. He is Tiefradi in all and everything. The wisdom of his people, the gentleness of his rivers, the strength of his volcano. You are looking for wisdom to heal the Renaigse, but you still see it with the eyes of a sort of Donegat. He is much more than that. He is the essence of all life, of all magic, the spring.
Can you tell me anything more about the role of the council?
We gather here at every long night and every short night. During these nights, the clans are in disagreement and come here looking for wisdom of the council, and of course also the High King. Those who have complaints against their Mal may also be heard here and find justice. And when important events take place, if the balance is threatened, then we also meet here, so that the wisdom of all might be shared, and that we might act as a same people.
What can you tell me about the sanctuary?
It is the most sacred place of the island. The hidden face, and still seen by all of you. Enol mil frictimen. I protected these doors like my father before me and his father before him. And still none of us have ever entered.
Am I to gather that there has never been a High King in your family?
We are heads of the Council of Kings. And so it is prohibited for us to present ourselves. We must remain impartial.
I see. And so you cannot speak to me about what you find inside?
The heart of the island beats near here, the volcano. And I know that it is a place full of life.
I must leave. Goodbye.
Qua awelem seg.
You have spoken to Glendon as you wanted. What more can I do for you?
I was asked to pass the trial of water. What do you know about it?
I have never passed it. Only those who must reveal their soul walk this path. The High Kings and Queens. It is a tremendous honor given to you, Renaigse.
Do you have any advice to give me?
I only know that the trial can be passed in many ways, and your choice will reveal the makings of your soul. One way is through strength, the other by ruse and heart. But I know no more than this. The trials are kept secret. Anything else?
Nothing else, thank you. I need to leave.
Good luck. And do not lose yourself in your own reflection.
These beasts are feeding on that carcass. If only we could pour some sleeping potion on it.
The animals fell asleep. We should be able to pass easily now.
I need a bit of practice.
Maybe an election protest in the new battle. My child, you need healing. May the shadow engulf our enemies. Be careful, your armor is falling apart.
I need a bit of practice.
May the enlightened help us.
Look at the basin, and the symbols around it. Given the islanders' taste for rituals and enigmas, I think you should touch the water.
The native witchcraft has raised its head again. You were shivering and had an absent stare for a brief moment.
Yes. I had another one of those visions. Another key to a ritual, I suppose.
What were you this time?
I was in the sky. I was floating, carried by the wind. And it was a cold feeling. I was high up, and it was getting colder and colder. I felt my blood freezing in my veins. I fell to the ground and spun slowly. And then the sun warmed me. Suddenly I bounced on the ground. And I was taken by the bubbling current of this creek. Then, just like before, the vision dissipated. And I was suddenly with you again. This stone is blackened, eaten away. I think it's supposed to evoke death. This stone bears the image of a storm, or perhaps the wind. On this stone, the sun is visible. The drawing on this stone makes me think of fire. I'm certain. This drawing looks like an infant. Could it represent life? Here this looks like a snowflake. The snow, or maybe ice. This stone is adorned with the etching of a drop of water. On this stone, the sun is visible. The drawing on this stone makes me think of fire. I'm certain. This stone is adorned with the etching of a drop of water. I must have lit the candles in the wrong order. I must have lit the candles in the wrong order. I need a bit of practice. This must be the seal that Glendan spoke about. It looks like the silhouette of the mountain of Tearfredi, and a face is drawn within it.
Bertir to Mad on Olmanawi. I congratulate you for passing the trial. Enter.
And so you have returned. Can you tell me what the seal deep within the cavern brings into your mind?
A face in the mountain of Tearfredi.
Then you have seen the true face of the island when looking into her waters. And the island has seen inside you. You sent the beasts into a deep sleep. That was very clever. Another before you did the same. In the second room, you have awoken the Dosentats to better best them. Finally, you have completed the ritual. And in so doing, the Guardian recognized you as a wise man. You choose to trust the way of ruse and wisdom. It is a difficult path, but it carries generous fruits. The island has seen your intelligence and also your compassion. The friendship of Katasach towards you no longer surprises me.
Am I authorized to encounter Enormil Frichtemann now? To present him with my request?
If the High King agrees, yes. We shall not oppose that decision. Only a High King or High Queen is allowed to open the sanctuary. I warned you. Your voyage is far from over.
I suppose that I'm going to need to convince them as well.
I believe that it may be another trial on your path to find the one you seek.
Is he hiding? Has he been captured?
He disappeared several months ago. Since then, we have not heard from him. He was worried about the Renaigse. The last people to have seen him, I'm told, were the most important chiefs of the clans here at the council. There was Dedra, Blatnid, Ulan, and Dunkas.
I fear that Queen Bladnid can no longer help us.
Yes, we have learned of her fate. Some battles cannot be won twice. Dedra is the Mal of the clan of the Storm Warriors. You will find her in the village of Vedlug.
I've already met her. She sent me to confront a guardian.
That sounds like her. Ulan is the Mal of the village of Vignamri, near the coast. It is said that he welcomes the Renaigse. As for Dunkas, he leads the Vigigidor. He is the chief of the Earth Healers. His village is not very far from the Didekidan Nadages.
Very well. I will go and see them. Try to find this High King. Thank you, Glendan.
Kwa'awalamseg. I hope that you will find him.
You have come at the right time, Your Excellency. I am in a delicate situation and your help would be invaluable.
I'm listening, Admiral.
Captain Reuben warned me that he suspected a member of his crew of being a spy. It is almost certain she sent secret navigation information to foreigners.
Why ask me to take care of it?
This is a very serious accusation. One that results in a member of the guild being expelled. The Norts are like a family, very connected, but also likely to carry resentment. I think an external view is required to be certain that there will be no bias. Anyway, their ship is anchored at New Serene. Your authority will allow you to get more answers than us.
I see. What is the exact nature of the information that could have been sent?
It's up to you to find out. But all the Norts know how we navigate our ships. You've seen the techniques we use, and you know we want to keep them secret.
I agree. Where can I find Captain Reuben?
At the port in your town. You know his ship. It was Captain Vasco's before he landed. I'm counting on you, Your Excellency. We must shed light on this case.
I have come to talk to you about a personal matter.
After what I revealed to you, I was sure you would come back to find me. What would you like to know?
You told me that I was born on one of your ships. Of an islander captured on the island.
We'd like to know about this woman's origins.
I'm afraid I can't help you. I did not take part in those expeditions. And our old archives are far from here.
Is there no one on TF4D who can help us? Please.
Very well. I do know an old captain who could perhaps help you out.
Where can he be found?
His ship is moored in the port of Hikmet, if I'm not mistaken. His name is Captain Lissandro.
Thank you for your help, Admiral.
De Sardet?
Yes, Admiral?
Don't get too caught up in the past. That one in particular. Nothing good will come of it.
Whether or not we choose to get caught up in it, Admiral, the past always catches up with us. Sadly, I'm paying the price of this.
I need to talk to you. I have to ask you for another favor.
I'm listening, Siora.
Do you remember the mine shakers in my village?
Yes. If I understand correctly, there was some kind of an agreement made with them.
Even though these priests would make good allies against the Lions because they hate them as much as we do, my mother would never have traded the spirits of the people of the village in exchange for their help. And she would have wanted to be buried according to our rituals. She was deeply attached to our traditions.
So you think that they're lying?
Yes. And you understand these Renagse better than I do. But I see that you are already busy with something else. So could you come back once you have time? Anything else?
I'm sorry about what happened to your mother. How are you feeling?
Unwell? I am angry. And I feel an immense void within me. I blame myself for not having been on this battlefield with her.
You have no responsibility in anything that happened to her. There's no point in blaming yourself.
And yet I do. You asked me how I felt and I gave you an answer. Anything else?
Do you have anyone? A friend, perhaps, whom you can talk to in this trying time?
I usually confide in my sister, but she's suffering too. And I think she resents me for not having been there when our mother needed me.
I know we've only known each other for a little while, but if you need someone to talk to, I'm here.
Thank you, Anal Manawi. You are a good person. And I'm glad that you are my friend. Anything else?
I've never heard you talk about your father. Who was he?
He was the Donegad of our clan. He died many cycles ago, but this memory is still painful. So we usually avoid the subject.
What happened to him?
He was killed as he tried to escape the lions who wanted to capture him. My mother never really recovered from it. This is one of the reasons why she decided to go to war. Anything else?
I must leave you. See you later.
Greenblood, my friend. The letter we found in Rolf's office was signed by a man whose name I'm familiar with. Herman. I know he's responsible for what happened in this camp, as well as many other crimes. But you look quite busy. Come back and see me when you're ready. Anything else?
Tell me about your family. Were your parents in the guard as well?
Yes. And to be truthful, I never knew them. I was entrusted to a wet nurse, a prostitute who followed the troops. I remember her. She was sweet, and a good person. She may be the only one who showed me any kind of affection. But that didn't last. As soon as I could hold a wooden sword, I was given a real one and sent to training. Anything else?
What is your duty as Master of Arms, besides teaching us how to fight?
What was my duty, you mean? It's all in the past now. In truth, you may have guessed it, but my main role was to make sure that nothing would happen to you and Constantine. Without, of course, turning you into some courtiers that are afraid of steel. You have to be considered trustworthy to take on this role. But alas, it isolates you from the rest of the guards. Always at the courts, but never really belonging to it. I spent almost my entire time with you without seeing my comrades. Anything else?
I must leave you.
My dear child, what can I do for you?
What was your role at my uncle's court? Were you already an ambassador?
No. But I was part of the embassy. I had only just started my career as a diplomat back then. Taleme was hoping to convert the congregation, and they had sent me to spread the word. I tried to teach you some of the basics because you had a predisposition for magic, but you were so young. You preferred to run around the halls with a wooden sword in hand, chasing your cousin.
I'll see you later, Father.
Take care, my child. The enlightened that a captain who took part in these expeditions is right here on the island.
It is indeed a stroke of luck. I hope he remembers my mother.
Do not worry. If his memory fails him, he may have kept his diary from that time.
Greetings.
Hello there. My name is Desarde. I'm the legate of the merchant congregation.
I am Captain Lissandro. Pleased to meet you. I don't believe I've had the pleasure before. Yet your face seems familiar. How odd. Well, what can I do for you?
Did you know the island before all the colonists arrived?
Yes. Now that's going back a bit. And it isn't a topic for somebody who isn't one of our own.
So tell me what it was like when the Alliance first began to settle here.
It was still wild, dangerous, and very beautiful. But all that has changed now.
Did you see the city being built?
Almost before my very eyes. I saw it grow as fast as you're breathing right now. But it was barely more than a port and a couple of huts surrounded by forest in the beginning. Then the trees began to come down, and the houses began to sprout up. It happened at a crazy pace, but I'm not sure that many good things came of all that change.
Do you know this port well?
Oh, I know it all right. I've been mooring my ship here for over 15 years. It's a safe harbor, well protected from the winds and away from the reefs.
And before that?
Before? I don't really know what you mean. Before, there was nothing but the coast itself, I imagine.
Admiral Cabral advised me to speak to you about a matter of some concern to me.
The Admiral? Coming from a legate, I should have expected that. So?
You are the only one on this island that can help me.
Really? Oh, I think I understand. That's why your face looked familiar. The congregation is good at keeping its secrets, isn't it? This story is not a new one.
25 years. 25 years since the Nauts brought a woman who was captured on this island to Serene.
I remember, and yet it wasn't the first time. But on that occasion, a child was born.
So you can understand why we'd like to learn where this captive came from.
Yes, yes. I have seen more than a few Nauts looking for their parents. But what have you got to do with all this?
I met that woman in Serene. I got to know her... well.
Listen, it's not that I don't want to help you, but my memory is no longer what it was. I wasn't the captain at the time. I wasn't the one who decided where we moored the ship. So I don't see how I can help you find out where this woman came from.
Do you need a little gold to jog your memory?
You're quite the merchant, aren't you? But since you're asking so nicely, I do actually need a new sail.
Here's your gold, Captain.
Perfect. My old boat thanks you. Very well. I need to look in my old logbooks. I'm sure I'll find something. Wait for me here. I'll be an hour at the most. Here it is. I found my old logbook. There's a passage in it that would probably interest you. Your mother came from a village on the plains in the southeast of the island. I'm talking about a place where the bones of the whale are visible from the coast. I believe the natives call it Vignamri.
Thank you for this information, Captain.
It's nothing. I'm getting sentimental in my old age. Good luck to you.
So here you are on the verge of discovering your mother's village, of finding your own people. How do you feel?
I don't really know. I'm a little lost, I suppose. All of this is so new to me.
I understand. Mrs. Desarde was loving. She raised you with tenderness. And today you learn she is not your real mother. I'm sorry.
To what do I owe the pleasure of your visit?
What can you tell me about your village?
Vignamri means the king's bones. It is a very ancient village. It used to be one of the largest on this island, before the people of the sea tried to take Teofredi from us. Some battles took place very close to here. Legend has it that this is the place where the first guardian fell, and that this is the reason why our village was given its name. After the battles came the abductions and the ransacking. People used to disappear frequently. We were taught to be cursed. But I changed all of that, and I gave our clan its prosperity back. Anything else?
What do you think of people from the continent?
Many of our people would love for all the Renaigse to leave, but I would not. It is thanks to them that I was able to breathe new life into Vignamri. They have a lot to teach us. The lions have powerful weapons and very effective potions. The Lugaid Blau, your people, offer us very beautiful things in exchange for our pieces of art.
Lugaid Blau? Is this what you call the congregation?
It means yellow eyes, because there seem to be round yellow eyes on your flags.
They're coins. And what does Teleme offer you?
The men of the sun seldom come here, but their magic is powerful, and so different from ours. I wish my brothers would understand how much we would benefit from an alliance with you, from making peace. Anything else?
Tell me about your clan.
We are called the Seaside Nemeas, the Bone Blowers, because it is in our tradition to sculpt Moramil bones. These creatures are the great kings of the sea. The whole island knows of our artisans. We trade with other clans a lot. And we also trade with the Renaigse, of course. Anything else?
I recently found out that my mother came from your village.
Your mother was from Vignamri? Now I understand why your face seems so familiar to me.
Indeed. She was captured before my birth and sent to the continent.
She was called Arelwyn. Did you know her?
Of course. Everyone here remembers her kidnapping.
Could you tell me more about that?
I was not the head of the clan back then. It was a very long time ago, but I remember the village Denegad, kidnapped by the people of the sea. All our warriors set off to her rescue, but it was all in vain. Most of them died, including the one she loved. It was a dark day, in which our village lost its knowledge and strength in one blow.
But my father died too. Do you know if any members of my family are still alive?
Yes. Slan, your mother's sister. She then became our Donegad. She was never able to match her sister's talent. Too much knowledge had been lost. Arelwyn was a renowned healer across all of Teofredi. Taking her place was not an easy task.
It's not surprising that she was of interest to the congregation. They probably hoped she could help them find a cure for the Malachor. But all alone, far from the island. She was just a young, frightened woman who had lost all her powers.
Do you know where I can find my aunt?
You could try her house, but she's rarely there. She is an elderly woman now, and very much enjoys her own company. She doesn't speak much to me. But others here can probably tell you where to find her.
Thank you, Ulan.
Anything else?
Nothing. I must go.
think of the chief of your village?
He seems quite friendly compared to the others we've run into.
A bit too friendly, if you ask me. A little too concerned with pleasing the settlers.
And you think that's a bad thing?
He reminds me of myself when I was younger. And that's not a compliment. My fear is that he serves his own ambition. And this is often done at the expense of others. There's no one here. Let's go and ask the inhabitants of the village if they know where to find her.
The islanders protect their Donegada. I don't know if they'll speak to some Renaigse.
Don't forget, you are one of them after all.
Hello.
Renaigse. Do you need help, Renaigse?
Actually, yes. I'm looking for the village Donegad.
Oh. And what do you want from her?
Ulan told me that she could help me to find someone.
Ulan must have wanted to play a dirty trick on you. There's no love lost between Ulan and the Donegad. She says that he loves the people from your island too much. But Ulan saved our village. Anyway, if you want to find her, try heading towards the western plains. I am not sure if she is there right now, but she likes going for walks there.
I'm extremely grateful. Greetings.
Bertir Tumad, Renaigse.
Protect me in this battle! May the shadow engulf our enemies! There's a woman over there, surrounded by animals. It looks like she may be in danger.
Let's go and help. It's got to be her.
May the Enlightened protect me in this battle! Watch out! May the shadow engulf our enemies!
How do you feel, madam?
Well, thank you for stepping in. I don't understand what has happened. Usually these animals accept me. Something must have frightened them.
We are glad we arrived at the right time. We would have been very upset if something had happened to you.
Excuse me, but are you Slan, the Denegad of Vignamri?
Yes, that's me. Were you looking for me?
Yes, we were. If you would allow us, we'd like to accompany you and tell our story along the way.
Very well. I will walk by your side.
This is the story we have pieced together.
I just can't believe it. Yet, if I think about it, your face reminds me of hers.
My mother, or rather, the woman who raised me, gave me this necklace.
A Relwyn gave it to me, to give to her child, and I passed it on to Mrs. de Sade.
It looks familiar. Your father had given it to your mother when they bound. It's good that you are wearing it today. My poor beloved Relwyn, who died far away from us all. And divorced Tierce. I still miss her so much.
She wanted me to help her die. But I was unable to do such a thing. Someone would have figured it out. I would have been sent back to Ptolemy, and I would have lost everything. So I watched her suffer. And one day she died.
Petrus, I cannot hold it against you for letting her live.
No, you don't understand. I loved her. I loved her, and I didn't even have the strength to end her suffering. She's the only woman I've ever loved.
I never would have guessed.
Everyone loved Relwyn. She was marvelous. You cannot blame yourself, man of the light. What's more, you brought me her child. For that alone, she would forgive you if she were among us. All is well now. The child of Tia Fradi has returned home, and with him, the spirit of his mother. You are home, my Magam. Welcome.
Petrus, I wanted to thank you.
Thank me? Despite everything you know about me?
You may have been a bit cowardly in the past, to the point of letting the woman you loved suffer. You were manipulative, and you lied to everyone, including yourself. But thanks to what you've told me, I've been able to find my family and my origins. And for that, I thank you.
My child. What you're saying touches me more than you can imagine. At least I've done something good, for once in my deceitful life. For you, and for her. I hope the Enlightened will remember this when I stand before him.